All right, we're recording now. So what I do when I do these calls is I like to record them because sometimes my clients can't get on in live time, and sometimes they're in different time zones. I work with people in the UK, the US, and Canada, so I can't promise that everybody can join me at the same time. So that's why I do record them. So for those of you who are watching on Instagram and you might be thinking, that's really great, but I wouldn't be able to be on a call at this time. Some of my clients cannot either. So tonight's topic is one that I hate to say it, but it's a topic that a lot of you are going to be a part of. And it's called Beginning the Journey Alone. And when I say the journey, I mean your health and fitness journey. And why am I talking about it being a lonely journey? Because in the beginning at home, it's often just you. So here's what I'm going to share tonight. I'm going to talk to you about what the journey looked like for me, how I was able to take it from it being a me thing to a we thing for our family. And I'm going to share some tips with you tonight so that hopefully you can encourage others to join you along your own journey. So the tips that I'll be sharing are all just things that have worked for me that I had to do over the past 4.5 years. So I'm going to quickly tell you my story so that you guys understand what this looked like for me. I was in a position where I wanted to lose baby weight from Carter. And I say baby weight, but really he was 2 years old. It was the night of his 2nd birthday when I decided I wanted to ditch that baby weight. I wanted to have a coach to help me stay accountable because I knew that I wasn't staying accountable myself. My husband and I had bought Insanity from the DVD, from like an infomercial. We had it. We would get started on a Monday, and by Wednesday we were eating pizza and we sucked and we just could not stick with it. And so we tried that for a couple months, and finally I just got mad enough. I hate to say mad enough, but I got mad enough that I was like, I owe it to myself to do a program and to get results and to feel better. And so I bought the 21 Day Fix as a challenge pack. That's the program that I started with, and I became a challenger. I became a challenger alone. This was not something that my husband wanted to be a part of. He did not want to be in a challenge group. I remember when I was trying to afford the challenge pack, I remember having to cut something out. So for me, I was a daily Starbucks girl. I went to Starbucks every morning after I dropped my son off from daycare. That was my treat every day. I would go, I would get my white mocha, and I would get a giant slice of coffee cake. And that was my breakfast. And it probably gave me diabetes. Like my sugar had to have been so high because I wasn't fueling my body the right way. But I was spending about $50 a week at Starbucks because I was a good $10 a day every single day. So I remember saying to him, I'll cut out my Starbucks because I really want to go all in with this program and I want to get results. I was afraid of Shakeology. I did not want to spend that kind of money on something like this, but there's a big but. But I wanted results and I wanted to change more than I wanted to stay the same. So if it meant that I needed to try Shakeology, I had never tried a meal replacement shake. I had never even really done diets in the past. So for me, I was very uncomfortable with this. But I did this alone. I did not have my husband. And so for some of you who are married or you have people at home, I want you to know that you need to ask them to join you, but you're going to have to prove yourself to them. You're going to have to show them that this was worth the investment. And that means that you can't buy this and set it on the shelf. You've got to show up. And it's almost has to be like a game where you prove to them you're not going anywhere and that you're going to get the results. But like I said, expect to be alone in the beginning. And you need to realize you need to lead by example first. Now, I need to talk to you about a place called rock bottom. Rock bottom is where the success happens, but it is not a place that everybody's at right away. It takes time to get to rock bottom. And some of you are thinking rock bottom is a shitty place to be. It is. I don't like being at rock bottom, but I will tell you that every client who comes to me at rock bottom is ready. And the clients who come to me lukewarm and they're like, I kind of want to get abs or I kind of want to lose 50 pounds, they will not see the results compared to the person who's at rock bottom, where they say to me with tears in their eyes, I've got to do something. My health has to change. And they say, I need help. they're at rock bottom. But your family members at home, maybe it's your older children, or maybe it's, a parent that you might live with, or a spouse, they may not be there. So they can cheer you on or not. Sometimes they won't support you, but know that they may not be there at this time. It doesn't mean they'll never be there. It just means that they may not be there yet. I will tell you that for me, my husband watched me. He watched me set my alarm every night. He watched me get up. This is when I was teaching. He watched me get up at 5 a.m. every day and go to our dirty, yucky, not old, but like boring basement. And I would sweat and I would go and do it. And he didn't. He would roll back over and he would enjoy his 40 more minutes of sleep or whatever it was. But I will tell you, he was watching. And I'll never forget the day when I came up from the basement and I was covered in sweat and it wasn't even 6 a.m. And he was like, I'm really proud of you. That helped me stay motivated. So they may not tell you at first they're proud of you. They may not recognize what you're doing, but eventually you can take this from a me thing and you can make it a we thing successfully. So how do you do that? The first is that you have to educate them. And you need to do your own homework. And so that means that if you're new to your journey and you're new to clean eating principles and you're new to all of this, you need to start doing your homework. You need to get passionate. I remember purchasing all these books on clean eating and buying new cookbooks and just studying what it was that we were doing and sharing the facts, sharing the obesity trends, sharing the fact that my new habits were going to become a legacy for our family. And I take this very seriously. I look around, particularly at children. When we go into public spaces, I look around. I look at what the kids are eating when they go out to eat. I look at the size of the children, and I look at what they're consuming. And I realize that genetics plays into this, but lifestyle plays into this even more. And, I made some hard decisions as a mom. I said, my child will not drink juice. My child will have water or milk. That's it. And to this day, we'll go to a birthday party and he may have a juice here or there. Or, if we host an occasion, we'll pick it up. But my son does not like soda. He tried it for the first time last summer and he's like, I don't like it. His favorite snacks are cheese sticks and apples. And so I'm not going to sit here and paint a picture and say that my kid is perfect and doesn't like mac and cheese. He still would definitely pick mac and cheese over chicken and broccoli. But I'm saying that I'm working to create a legacy. And so my habits that I created for myself will become my children's habits, so that someday my son or daughter doesn't have to be in the situation that most of my clients are in. My clients come to me and they say the same thing. I grew up on soda. I grew up on certain types of foods, and I rewarded myself with food. These are all things I hear, and I get it. And I grew up on Coca-Cola too. And I grew up on ramen noodles every day after school and Cherokee red sodas. And I did not come from a chicken and broccoli family. I learned this. But my children will come from that type of family. Now, will they slip up along the way? Will they probably, love, my son literally loves Taco Bell. If you give him a to-go option, he picks Taco Bell. I don't give it to him every day, but he lives a healthy, clean lifestyle with balance. And that's what I want them to know. I don't need them to be obsessed. I need them to know balance. So I just want you to think about that your habits that you're going to be teaching yourself will become your spouse's habits, and eventually it will become your children's habits. And if you're lucky, your grandkids as well. So just think about the legacy that you're passing down as you're studying this and learning and sharing what you're learning in the process. Please know that in order for this to work, it actually needs to become a slow overhaul, meaning that you do not start your journey and say to your whole family, listen, mom is on a diet, which I don't like that word. Mom's on a diet and we can't have any of this food anymore. It's not going to go over well, and they're not going to be very supportive. I need you to do a pantry overhaul, but I need you to do it together. And I need you to clear out the things in your home that you cannot tolerate. Maybe your kids or your spouse isn't ready to get rid of their chip addiction, right? That's fine. If you're ready, that's one thing. But I need you to do something. I need you to ask them to pick chips that you don't even like. Like if you hate Funyuns, they should put the Funyuns in the pantry, because it's going to make this easier on you. Because if your favorite chips are staring you in the face in the pantry at 9 o'clock at night, you're going to eat them. Don't make this harder than it has to be. So do an overhaul slowly together. I will tell you that whenever I switched us from white pasta to wheat pasta in the beginning, I did it gradually. One week we had spaghetti and it was, 3/4 white pasta. The next week it was half white pasta. The next time it was a fourth. And then the last time it was wheat pasta, and nobody really cared. So don't just up and change the whole pantry and the whole meal plan. You need to do this gradual with them. And you need to also make this a family event. Get on Pinterest as a family on Sunday and say to the family, like or whoever lives with you, what do you want to have? What can we make? Ask them to challenge you to take your typical favorite meals and turn them into a cleaner version. Things like that are really fun. Same with the grocery store. I love to go to the grocery store and have a grocery cart challenge with my family. And I try to have the least amount of processed foods possible in my cart. I'll tell you that I'm more successful with this mission when no one's at the grocery store with me. If I take the kids along, particularly my son Carter, who's 6, this is a really hard mission because the grocery store and the companies have done an awesome job of marketing, and they've made all the boxes of processed foods fun and kid-friendly and colorful, and that will not serve you well if you're trying to do this. So shop the perimeter of the grocery stores, try to stay out of those middle aisles, but just make this a family event, but do it slowly. I think that you need to realize that not only will this take time for them to want to join you, it's going to actually take time for you too. The time that you thought it was going to take for you to lose the weight or to, become more fit, unfortunately, will take longer than you think. And unfortunately, I have to be very realistic with you and tell you that you probably will fall off the wagon 5, 10 times, maybe not that many, but you will fall off the wagon several times before you finally say, I don't want to fall off this wagon anymore. I don't want this to be a diet. I actually want this to be my lifestyle. And this will take time for you, but it will also take time for them. As I said, they will not probably want to join you or support you at first. They will be watching you though from a distance. And so that means that you need to show up and you need to prove to them that this is a worthy investment, that your health matters and that their health matters. So that's just my 2 cents on the time piece. I will tell you that my husband likes to do this on his own. He does not necessarily like to work out with me. Sometimes we do, but he likes it to be his separate thing. He does not like when I ride him regarding his nutrition. If I see him, having a snack or a treat meal, he does not like when I'm critical of it, which nobody would. So you have to be careful the way that you are, engaging with your family members and the way that you're inviting them on this journey. Don't give them a guilt trip. Just show them how great you're feeling and how happy you are because you're on this journey, and eventually they're going to want to join you. Now, here's what's important. Most of you, when you became my client, we had a very serious conversation. It was probably a tearful conversation for some of you. It's your story you shared with me about why you're here. For some of you, it's because you didn't have the energy to play with your children anymore, or you were so just sad with the way you felt about your confidence and your self-esteem. Some of you, it was because you didn't feel attractive around your spouse anymore. Some of you have really serious pain points. Some of you are fighting off really horrible family genetics that you just so desperately want to change. And so all of you have your reason, I call it your why, of why you're here. But it's painful. A why is painful. And if it's not painful, it's actually not powerful enough. So I need you to have a pretty intimate conversation with the person who lives in your home, if you do have someone living with you. And I need you to share with them why you're doing this. Because what's going to happen is they're going to start to support you. They're going to understand that you're doing this for a really gut, it's in your gut why you're doing it. So please share that. But I also want you to please ask them, what's their why? Why do you want to do this too down the road? What do you think you need to change? Don't point the finger. Don't say, I could very easily say to my husband, you should watch less TV and you should exercise instead. He doesn't need that though. He does not need me saying that to him. He is his own person, just like your family members are their own person. They'll get there when they're ready. But I want you to give them permission to hold you accountable because you're the one who said you were ready and you're the one who hit your rock bottom. So I actually do want you to say to your spouse, look, I signed up for this. I said I was going to work out. I said I was going to follow the program. I said I was going to meal plan. I need you to ask me about it. If you don't see me sweating each day, ask me why. I need you to, on Sunday, say, babe, did you do a meal plan this week? I need you to keep me accountable. And if they want you to hold them accountable, then you do the same right back for them, but only if they're ready. Now, here's what's going to happen. Along this journey, the journey to the new you, you're going to become a very different person. The person who starts with me today is not the same person 60 pounds from now. A lot's going to change. And if you're not careful, you can create some problems at home because you become this new person along the way. You're healthy, you're happy, you're fit, you're more confident, but they didn't maybe join you. You're going to create some animosity and you're going to create some difficult conversations at home. So you want them to get to that destination with you. You want to take them along, but you can't drag them along, but you really want them to because you want to both become someone new along the way. You know, the purpose of this group that you guys are in, you guys signed up for the Family Fitness Challenge. That's why this call is really focusing on family because you want to do this together and you want that sense of pride whenever you both are a year from now way healthier. One thing that I'm going to encourage all of you to consider doing, not just working on your outer transformation, but I want you to think about doing personal development. It's key to your inner transformation. I didn't think that personal development mattered when I was new to this journey. My coach was like, you should read personal development books. I was like, yeah, no, I don't read self-help books. I've never been to that aisle in the bookstore. I don't have time for that. However, I learned that it caused me to, I don't want to say protect myself, but it put me in a bubble and it helped me to become more, more strong mentally, to become more, financially fit, more fit from like I'm looking right now, you can't see this, but I'm looking over here at my bookcase and I have every topic from going gluten-free to, just like body image stuff to cookbooks to I'm like really crunchy. So like holistic approaches to life to the clean eating diet books, like you name it, my bookcase is just filled with different topics. But those books would never came home with me prior to my journey as a client first and then a coach. So I want you to reach out to me and I want you to ask me for suggestions on personal development books because for all of you, you have different pieces to your puzzle that you're weak in. And so maybe it's faith, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's just the knowledge of nutrition. I can help you. And so I want you to kind of challenge yourself to do a little bit of personal development along the way. So as far as the slides go or the topic goes, that's all that I had prepared for you guys tonight. I want you to be proud of yourself and I want you to get to the finish line in however many months it takes you. Because for some of you, you're in it for the long haul. It's not easy to lose 60 pounds. It's not easy to lose even 30 pounds. And there are going to be moments where you feel very vulnerable. I want to be your person. I want to be here for you, but I want your family members to support you too. And so you've got to ask for that help, but you've got to be here because you want to be and because you believe in yourself. I think it starts with you. You've got to say, I'm going to prove to everybody that this time is different. Because for some of you, you've been on this journey and you've tried a lot of things and it didn't necessarily work. So I need you to say, line in the sand. This is it. This is the time I change. And this is the time that I feel better for good. So that's all I have tonight. I hope that was helpful. I appreciate you getting on the call, and I will see you guys next week. We're going to do this each Thursday. Our time will be 9:05 because I have another client call before that. So I'll see you then. Take care, guys. Bye.